Now, here's the one thing that I think separates me or my ability to out recruit just about anybody in any company that I've ever come into. And I have to give you, I'm going to give you the story of this so that it sticks with you better. Okay. And I call it the dollar bill story. Okay. So here's what I went to a network marketing training. I was in I believe it was the second company I ever did, still pretty rough around the edges. And the guy in front of the room was trying to teach us a lesson. And he said, okay, here's the deal. Everybody take out a dollar bill. Okay. So everybody had a $1 bill in their pockets. And he said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a contest. It's going to be 15 minutes long. We're going to be moving around the room and so on. Okay. So there's about 100 people in this room. And he said, here's what I need you to do. I need you, here's the contest. Here's what the contest is I need you to take your dollar and I need you to go get a dollar from as many people in the room as you can. And here's how, and he says, I don't care what you do or how you do it. You have to go out and basically ask somebody or offer somebody something that would engage them or compel them to give you their dollar. Okay. And at the end of the contest, whoever has the most dollars basically wins, right? So I thought that was pretty cool. So I started thinking in my head, okay, because here's what you have to understand is you have to learn what the actual rules of the game are and play those strategically as quick and as hard as you can, okay? That's something important, and I'm getting to it. So during this contest, so the guy says, all right, I got my stopwatch, go. And then he stood up on stage and watched everybody. Well, the whole room, everybody, the buzz was in the room, everybody starts walking around. So I thought to myself, I said, how can I get people to give me a dollar? So what I did was I went out there and I walked up to somebody. I thought of this really cool thing because the contest was to get somebody to give me their dollar. That's all it was, right? And I walked up to everybody and I said, hey, if you'll give me your dollar, I will teach you everything you need to know to be a millionaire in less than 90 seconds. And that's what they would, and they go, oh, okay. And they would hand me their dollar and I go, thank you. And I walked away, okay? Because you got to understand here, the contest wasn't to train somebody. The contest wasn't even to, give them the details of what you just said or anything like that. The contest and the rules of the game was to go around as fast as I could in 15 minutes to as many people. Anybody in this room could have that chance to do that and ask as many people a simple question to get them to give me a dollar. So I asked that one person that question, they gave me a dollar. And then I walked over to the next person. I asked another one that gave me their dollar. And then I asked, and people would laugh. Okay. At the end of 15 minutes, they said, okay, everybody calms down. Everybody sits around and everybody got back to their seats. Now, here's what was really, really cool that was intriguing that the gentleman, the trainer at the front of the room said. He said, now he gave an evaluation of this room. And now I can tell you that this is 100% legit because in huge groups and huge trainings that I've done myself in front of hundreds of people, I've done this exact same contest, and every single time the results come out the same. No question. It's just human nature. It's one of those things that happens. Is he said, okay, now, and then what he did is he evaluated and he had everybody stand up. Everybody that stand up in the room that lost your dollar and you have no dollars, everybody stand up basically. And if you lost your dollar and you have no dollars, sit down. And I'm telling you, at least 75 to 80% of the room sat down. Here is a huge, huge recruiting point for you to understand this. So this guy then, and I've done this, and like I said, I've done these in my own meetings. This guy says, he looked at these people and he said, I'll tell you what happened. When you went out and you asked that first question and you either gave your dollar away to somebody, and when you lost your dollar and you didn't have another dollar, you stopped going out and asking more people to go out there and get the dollar. You got it. He goes, I watched some of you, as soon as you lost your dollar, I watched some of you go out the hallway and you went to the bathroom. Some of you just sat down. Some of you just, we didn't have cell phones back then when this first time I saw this, and they walked away. Others, you saw that. So 80% of the room dropped off when they lost their very first dollar, or they asked somebody for a dollar and so on. Then he said, everybody here that did not get more than a dollar, but you still have your dollar. And everybody was like this. They were waving their dollar. Who has their dollar? Who has their dollar? And he goes, I want you guys all to sit down. He goes, you guys lost the contest as well. And I was like, huh? They still got their dollar. And he goes, what happened was you never took any kind of risk to go out there and do anything. And you just held on to your dollar. So you never advanced. You never really took a risk. You never, did anything. And he went right through around it. And then he said, okay, how many people have more than 2 remain standing? And then, a handful of people dropped off. If you got 5 or more dollars, hand up. And then it got up all the way to where if you, there was like 3 people in the room, myself and 2 other people. If you had like $10 in your hand, remain standing. And then this guy, the one, I think it was a lady that dropped off. She had like $10, $15 in her hand, and the other one had $22. And then I stood there. I was the guy that won the contest. And I've never seen this contest before. When I sat down, I had $35 in my hand, $35. And everybody gave me an applause. I got to put the $35 in my pocket. But I probably heard this and watched this happen in that room probably close to 17 years ago is when that happened. And I'm telling you, the biggest light bulb went on in my brain about recruiting than anything I've done. And I believe why I've been so successful and why you can be successful as well is I understood that the number one thing it was to say less to more people. To say less to more people as fast as I could, as fast as I could, as fast as I could. And until people actually understood that, until I really grasped that was the key, I'd seen, and I was up until that point, because this was my second company. So I'd already spent 4 years. I was in another company for 4 years and only recruited like 40 people over 4 years, which is, to me, is not a lot. Okay. I average, I think, almost a rep a day and so on. But that was a really big turning point. And so when I got a little more popular and started doing my own events, when I would do these things, I would do the same thing. In fact, in some rooms, I watched people where they all got together and they pooled their dollars, because that's what they were doing, right? So they all pooled their dollars. So there's like 10 of them that pooled their dollars. So everybody put in one, and maybe 1 or 2 had that. And when they held it up, they thought they had won. But I was like, well, if you split that up between everybody, you guys have lost more money than you gained to begin with. Okay. So anyhow, I thought that was it's a powerful story. It's a powerful principle that if you understand it and you apply it, everything else I'm about to show you or tell you strategically is going to make a lot more sense and help you. Okay.